Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Beezus here, and today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to be talking with one of my homeboys who likes to play Overwatch, and he actually plays on the PC. He's one of the PC Master Race people. Everybody give it up for Brian. Brian Rodriguez, everybody.
It's me.
Yes. He is the man. He is a Pharah main, but he's here to talk about the newest addition in Overwatch, and that is Orisa. And I only got one day of playing with her, so this is basically like a first impressions kind of thing. And we're just gonna talk about how she how she stands out initially, and just our very first impressions of her, and how she fits into the world of Overwatch as it is. So first impressions, I'm gonna go ahead and say she's garbage, but Brian disagrees with me. Brian thinks that she's pretty good.
I think she's the best. You pair it up with the Zarya, you got the best combo. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know, bro. Like I was telling you, I think that Reaper sort of like makes her completely obsolete. I think that it's very obvious that she's not a mobile tank, and this is kind of the first of its kind, because every tank in the game has some sort of mobility. Even Reinhardt, when you think about it, if he needs to, he can charge out of a situation. Diva and Winston are obviously super mobile. And Zarya is kind of just like she's a better duelist than any of them, but Orisa, on the other hand, she's a sitting duck, and if she doesn't have a barrier up, she's pretty trash.
People kind of put her in that Reinhardt role. I don't feel like she's a Reinhardt replacement quite. I really think she's good with something like Zarya, like I said, just because you can actually just bubble, and your shield lasts long enough to where all that protection plus your shift ability, or the fortify, or whatever it's called, I don't know, it provides a lot of protection, and it's kind of, I feel like that's the way she should be played, as opposed to be Reinhardt, where you just stand there with a shield or like a solo tank sometimes, and solo Q or something of the sort. I don't know.
Well, it's now that you mentioned the whole solo tank, she's definitely not a solo tank. You're gonna need to pair her up with another tank to get maximum effectiveness from her, because
for sure,
as it stands, she's just, the fact that her barriers are when you put it down, It's not like a Reinhardt shield where he could just pick it up wherever he wants. In her situation, it's like you put that shield down, you're committing to that spot until you have it again.
Pretty much, you can't move it.
Which is, I feel like, one of her biggest weaknesses. In the very beginning of her play, I feel like a lot of people are still going to be trying to figure her out, and as a result, you're going to get a lot of people just putting Orisa's shields in the weirdest spots, and then while it's there and she's trying to get it on cooldown, if you don't have another tank to protect her, she's just going to get torn up by the likes of
one thing to note, though,
Widowmaker.
Is that in the odd case that your shield does last long enough, the cooldown actually comes back up before the shield is down.
That is a good feature about her, and Winston kind of just got that change, and not that I've seen Winston with that change, but I'm sure that Winston players are loving that. But there is still a gap. Let's say that shield that she puts down is getting focus fired by the whole team. It'll go down really quick. It's only 900 health,
True.
and for that moment that she doesn't have it, if she doesn't have somebody protecting her or pocket healing her, she gets taken out no problem. If she has fortify, but it's not enough damage reduction for focus fire. And in any situation where the team sees that she's the only tank on the team, it's going to be so easy for the team to just jump her and just be like, get Orisa, no one's helping her.
I think she'll work on specific points. She may work on something maybe first point of King's Row, or small corridors are probably really good for her, because there's not much space around her. You can kind of just set up in your little zone, and your whole team can just kind of defend that. And I think it's actually, if paired up with a really good tank, like I said, Zarya, or maybe, I don't know, maybe
apparently pairing
Winston.
her up with a Reinhardt is not bad at all. And in theory,
True.
It sort of makes sense, because anytime Reinhardt needs to charge up his shield, she should be able to have a shield on cooldown, and then that shield could take a little damage, and that damage that it could take is enough time for Reinhardt to actually charge his shield up, and then when that shield breaks, he just puts his shield up, and then she gets hers on cooldown. It's something that you cycle over and over again.
Yeah, that's definitely more theory based. Obviously, I don't really know quite just how much, how well she works with those heroes in actual practicality, but yeah, in theory, with Reinhardt, you just kind of have your shield up. It's kind of like having Reinhardt's shield the whole time up while he's charging up, even, because you just kind of alternate between the shields. but she could also work in, which actually we haven't even thought of, triple tank, because.
Oh man, I know that people don't want to see that meta come back, but now that you mentioned it, it might be inevitable.
It's not really the meta anymore, but people are still playing it. If you see like pro games, lots of Korean teams like to play triple tank still.
She'll definitely add a cool like twist on the triple tank for sure, because just pairing her up with the Reinhardts and the Roadhogs of the world, I don't know, it could payload. I feel like payload might be her strength.
Yeah,
payload might be
payload
like one of her biggest
not
strengths, just because she can put the shield on the payload, just like Reinhardt could stand on it, and it's gonna open the door for like pocketing bastions of the world, especially the people who just like to get up on the payload.
If you want to talk about like bastion comps, it does work pretty well. Actually, even as playing Pharah, it's kind of annoying because you can't really go over it because
it's got a dome shape.
It's kind of arching.
Yeah, so you can give Bastion like 360 protection at any given moment, and that might be hard to deal with. We'll see if people do that.
I've already seen it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's there, and I'm sure that once people exploit that, they're gonna be like, let's just put Bastion in a dome, And if and going on that triple tank that you were talking about, you throw a Winston in the mix, and he has his barrier every so often. That might be very annoying to deal with.
Very annoying.
Barrier annoying.
Barrier.
But I feel like one of the last points we can make is how this might bring Sombra into the game a lot more.
Well, there's more shields and there's more things. That means more shields for her to take out, which means more value for EMP. So it's definitely pretty good.
How do you feel about the health packs now that you can see them? Like, do you feel like when you're not playing as Sombra and you have Sombra on your team, do you feel more inclined to go get a health pack now that you could see it no matter where it is?
Well, granted that I haven't really played with a Sombra on my team, but it's definitely a good solo queue change because obviously it doesn't really affect like organized play, but it's still pretty good. I mean, I guess even organized play, you don't have to like mention your health packs, but even in organized play, the way they play Sombra is completely different anyway. But yeah, it's definitely a good change. It's definitely not a bad change. People will see your health packs, but definitely I'm really excited by her translocator buff though, because
dude, I played it for one match or and it just feels a lot better. It feels so much more fluid. It just provokes you as the player to like use it more. Like even offensively, like if you're in a situation where you need to get out, just chuck it and just translocate away. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get it back in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's a great change, and I definitely feel like all the people who want to be Sombra mains, cough myself, like it's gonna allow for people to do that and make it so that when you pick Sombra, people are to go, hey, get the fuck off Sombra. So.
Yeah. Another thing though is did they make any Zenyatta changes?
They did actually. All they did was they just like lessened the spread that he apparently has. I mean, I've never felt it. I never even noticed that he had a spread on his shot, but apparently he does. And now they kind of just reduced that, and they also took away the recovery time from his alternate fire. Like they made it half a second now.
Huh.
It feels nice for the brief amount of time that I played it, and I look forward to seeing how it feels in the future. His lesson spread, but I don't know. I'm sure I've played him so much that it's such a minor change that I'm sure that as I play a little more, I'm just gonna be like, I actually feel the difference between him before and later. But
yeah,
we'll see.
You'll hear dink.
Yeah, I'll hear. Yeah, if I start hearing the dink a lot more, then for sure, like dink. It's because of that change. But
yeah,
I mean that's pretty much it. It's only day one impression, so I'm sure that the more we play it and we see Orisa, how she fits into this meta, so to speak, then we'll talk about it more. But I'm calling it out right now. She's way too she can't move, and because of that, she's really weak against Reapers and even the fucking snipers of the world. So if you're a Widow main or a Hanzo main by any chance, you can have a field day on her because she's literally a walking brick.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. And Brian, thank you, and hopefully we can do these more in the future. That would be really cool. And hope you guys enjoyed. Take it easy.